That's loud as fuck, Dale.
It's kind of a vibe, though.
Rocking out. Nobody really liked my 5 worst games on the Nuggets schedule today.
The schedule juice might be drying up a little bit.
It didn't really blow up.
We ran out, well,
I thought 5 worst could be funny. Apparently not.
Did we didn't ever get the month by month breakdown? I thought that was the most interesting.
No, I didn't put that one.
This rundown is so fast now. You know what? Before you know it, we're live.
I know.
I mean, you know my opinion on the new intro.
We do know your opinion. What is up, everybody? Welcome into Casual Friday.
Partly true.
You know who didn't get the note for Casual Friday? Mr. Sweater over here. Hottest day of the year. Do you know there? Today, hottest day of the year.
Yeah, can anybody really debate global warming anymore?
Adam's shaming of overdressing is the one thing that reunites us on this show.
You should get me at the golf course. There's nothing You know what? Maybe I'll make my list later on. Collared shirts at the golf course. God, that might be number one.
Well, I mean, the reason I am dressed better than all you is I'm going out to happy hour after work.
Yeah. Sounds a
Nice
little
humble
overrated.
brag. Not with us.
No, definitely not.
How happy?
you think
how
he would,
happy
first of all,
could it
if he wouldn't go out with us for happy hour, but if he did, he would not dress up for
That's a
it.
great point.
That's right. I would be wearing probably shorts and
Yeah,
t-shirt.
no question about it. Guys, we're going to have a fun show for you today. We missed something in the schedule yesterday that I have to bring to everyone's attention. Maybe the most important thing about the schedule, we missed it.
More hot schedule
More
talk?
hot It's going to be short and brief.
Thank
More
God.
hot schedule talk. We're also going to have our friend Jena Garcia joining us because she's my basketball teammate. Her and I are going to take gold this weekend in a 3-on-3 tournament. She's going to promote
Nice.
this event she's been working on, so she's going to promo it
Nice.
and hopefully be. She might come on here and talk trash. I'm not sure if she's going to be here.
But you guys are teammates.
Yeah, and I'm hyping her up.
Oh, okay.
But she might come on here and tear me down. We'll find out. We're also going to look at lineups. We're most interested in seeing a couple situational lineup things. Friday, guys, Casual Friday. We're going to snake draft overrated things.
Anything.
Anything that's
all on
over-
the table.
Eric's just
I feel
drafted
like we should
us.
probably
not prepped for that.
exclude foods.
Well,
though.
you didn't check your Slack in which we communicate.
We've
so
already
that's true.
done
true.
overrated foods. So
You
those
could
should
also
probably be excluded from this. Right?
No,
you-
I've got more food takes.
Yes. No, you can absolutely put food in this if you'd like.
Oh,
but
this is going to be a shit show.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the idea. Let's
That's
go.
the idea. And then, of course, online with D-Line later. I got the Walker himself here. Brendan Vogt.
I pushed it today. It's hot.
Yeah.
It is hot. I got a little, I swayed a little bit on the last block of the walk. I was getting kind of dizzy.
Oh, gee.
But I got some water in me, so I'm ready to go.
Okay.
It's going to be a good show.
I hope you cooled out for some cold pressed juice.
I did. I did.
Over here, I got D-Line.
Let's go, guys. Let's get casual, shall we?
Yeah,
Some
let's
so
do it.
I feel
casual
like
today.
even though we're dressed down, like we're still a little too formal for my.
You think?
For my, I actually just like.
We've got 3 people on the set wearing shorts.
Would you? I thought
Which
I
you
thought
have
we were gonna be in
already
B.
outlawed
I
on the
thought we were going to be
podcast.
in B. I'm actually very upset about this. I'm not going to bring it
You're
up.
breaking your own rule.
We were in B yesterday. I thought we were going to be in
We
B
have
again
people
today.
that watch the show that love seeing our legs, though. That's a true fact. And then over there, of course, we got it.
I'll show you the complaints.
Then we got Harrison Wind over here.
they come in.
People only like seeing my ankles. That's it.
Yeah. Guys, the story we missed. The story we missed last night. We looked at the schedule. Because we already knew the Nuggets played on Christmas, we didn't even bring up. It's not that they play on Christmas. They are the marquee game. 12:30.
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
We rock world. Maybe they'll put them in the second to last slot or last slot. No. The NBA said, you know what game is more important than every other game on our Christmas Day slate? The Denver Nuggets.
Let's go. Well, no, the Golden State Warriors.
The Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah. Defending champs, but also.
Wait. Celtics, Lakers? No. Nuggets, Warriors? Yes, absolutely.
Well, they want to put the team that has half of its games on national TV.
That's true.
In the primo spot. Again, not the Nuggets.
Not the Nuggets.
Well, I think I already brought this
He
up
did.
on the show, but
He
I did read that one of the reasons this game got this time slot was because the 49ers play at
Yeah.
night.
Doesn't matter, dude. Don't sweat.
Get out of here with your facts, dude.
Tell us more about the horses.
As much as that is probably part of it, they could have always just scheduled a different team, this or that. But they said, no, it's Nuggets. You could have
Right.
put Lakers, Warriors because we have to accommodate. We need it. No, they went with this. We're joking here, but I actually think it is meaningful vote.
Well, Steph Curry, I think, is personally involved in, I don't know the number, but X amount of the most watched games.
Still has to play somebody.
I know, I agree. I'm saying, but they're the defending champs. So that's a good slot, especially because right now the Warriors, I don't think necessarily have a natural rival per se, the way you could look at some of these other teams.
I would say aging.
So you got to find a prestige team that makes sense in that slot against them. And you're not necessarily looking for like a Celtics Lakers dynamic with the Warriors. So Nuggets make sense. Again, it would have been the Bucks right after the Bucks won. Now it's
Right.
the Nuggets. They're in that kind of slot.
Bucks track.
I think it's a big deal too. I mean, the Nuggets have graduated from the last time slot on Christmas, which they've held the last couple of years, and that, I mean, that's kind of a throwaway slot. It's like the end of the night after a long day of basketball. I mean, that's
A lot of eggnog.
the fourth, fifth game. It's the end of a long ass day, and part of me has been wondering if that's just the slot that Adam Silver throws to the Nuggets to appease Michael Malone. He's like, I can't take this guy bitching at me anymore. I'm just going to give him the last slot on Christmas Day. But now they've got one of the primetime slots. Like it's a big deal. This is the game that everybody's tuning in for.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't think they were looking to appease Michael Malone. But
I'm joking.
There are all these built-in respect things. Like if you have an MVP, he should play on Christmas, which they did not abide by a few years ago. But it is cool. Like it is cool that. Again, I don't believe that this is because of the Nuggets. I do believe it's because of the Golden State Warriors. But the fact that the Nuggets are playing the Golden State Warriors, all it took was finally winning a championship to get some modicum of respect.
all you had to do.
It's
Win a little
beautiful.
title.
I love it. Rings culture, Smuggets, come at me.
I also think that there is something to. I think the NBA and ESPN and the partners that do the television partners. I do think that there's a look at this and saying like, let's see how they do here. And I'm telling you, I think ratings are going to be really good. And I think there's a little bit of a. Remember 3 years ago, before Murray got hurt, the Nuggets were on the Warriors track. They were like, is this the next Warriors?
Oh, yes.
And then there was the thing of, well, Steph is so fun and Jokic is so boring. But come to find out, that was only because nobody was watching. And then the Lisa Salterses of the world, all these people watched and were like, I had no idea how fun this team is.
He's a really good passer.
I honestly think that this is hey, is Jokic kind of like almost as fun as Steph Curry to a mass audience? Let's find out. And if ratings pop, I just think that it could be a watershed
even
moment.
if it's not Jokic, Murray is.
Murray exactly.
plays the style that Steph Curry does. Like there is that. That's the beautiful thing about the Nuggets is that people came to realize is that they're just like a good team that plays the right way,
Fun.
and they also are fun. Like Nikola Jokic is fun, but if you don't like Nikola Jokic because you're dead inside, like. Okay, Aaron Gordon dunks with ferocity.
right. Yeah.
Ferocity. Jamal
Michael
Murray
Porter
pulls up from
Jr.,
40.
maybe the best shooter
dude.
in the NBA.
There's a lot. There's a lot to the Denver Nuggets. You just never looked at it before. So.
Yeah, I like it. You know
Christian Brown.
what? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
What is it?
Johnny
Let me hear it.
Hustle.
What is it? Yeah. America's favorite. Is that what you're going to go with?
I don't know.
Blue blood.
Christian basketball.
Let's bring in right now, friend of the show and my teammate, Jena Garcia. Let's get her opinion on this
Jena.
Christmas Day slate. Is this just about Jena? There you are.
Oh,
Wait, Jena, are
she's
you
going
out for a walk? Are you there?
And
Can we hear her,
can't
Kil?
hear her.
Is that our end or her end?
Hear me?
There it
Yeah,
is. It was our end. We can hear
Can
you now,
you hear
Jena.
me now?
Yeah. Are you out at the
Actually, right now. So, just promoting a little bit of syrup here in Capitol Hill, Denver. The beautiful city of Denver looks it's amazing today.
promotions on this podcast, Jenna. You have to clear
Well,
that with
here's
us
the
ahead
thing.
of time.
My bad, Harrison. But I just am making up for the fact that you all are showing your legs on camera right now. So
Are
What's
you
wrong
are you
with that?
anti us showing our legs?
That's my
or
payment.
pro?
it seems like the fans really like Vogt's legs, but maybe because we're getting the biggest angle on his legs, you
because
know?
we see a lot of them, and there's, they
Well,
also lead
there's
into-
not that much of them.
Yeah, we have thoughts on it.
But Jena, the Christmas Day slate, Nuggets Warriors is in that prime time slot. We're trying to decide whether or not this is a big deal. In your opinion, is it a meaningful thing that the Nuggets are in the prime spot for Christmas Day?
I think so. I think there's also like 4 games in a row where they play on national TV against big marquee like rivals, right? Big names. And I think that's something we've been asking for
Sure.
as Nuggets reporters, as Nuggets fans for years. So I do think it's a big deal that they're not just against the Warriors, but at that time slot specifically. Now people will finally see them play. No more Lisa Salters comments. Like, that's not going to be tolerated anymore.
She's also like said something good about the Nuggets, but we're like angry at it.
We just
Sportscaster of the year, Lisa.
we just
Salters.
buried her also, Joe.
Sportscaster of the year.
Non-stop strays.
So it's not just that, but 22 games on national television, 30 if you count the NBA TV ones. That's fifth most amongst. I mean, to me, this feels, I don't know if the Nuggets can go higher than this, honestly, given market size. But I do feel like the Nuggets are at maximum television rating respect.
Yeah, I think so. I think they finally, like, paid their dues. They finally did what everybody wanted them to do. They won the championship. Now we're going to be on TV a lot. Like, if you look at the list, we're up there with, like, big names.
Yeah, I agree. All right, tell me about this tournament this weekend. So what's going on? How are you involved in it? And because I'm participating with you, like, is this going to be heavy competition? What should I expect? How do I need to eat healthy tonight? What's the deal?
I need you to have a healthy bowel movement before you come to the game, Adam, because we're going up against.
That's good advice.
It is good advice. Eat your carbs tonight. Tomorrow morning. Stay lean.
Wheelchaired right off the court.
That would be bad because we're actually going up against Katie Wingy, Chris Dempsey from Altitude. We're also going to be going up against the Fan. The Fan is bringing a team. Mile High Sports is bringing a team. So this actually really matters. We actually have to, for your reputation mostly, Adam.
All right, it's me, Dev, and Jena. It's a 3-on-3 tournament. No, Dev is playing. We got me. Jena, what is your game, just so I can kind of know going into this? Who's
your player comp?
JJ Redick.
Gerald Wallace.
Oh, really? You're not missing, huh?
Best shooter in the tournament.
Oh, she froze.
Oh, we froze. Did we freeze?
Park Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's that park Wi-Fi. That just treaded park Wi-Fi. Take her off, see if she comes back in here.
Yeah.
Let's take a quick break while we try to get Jena back. I just want to hear, to wrap up with this event, I think there's some way that people can participate. And it's also at that Sports Social House, which I know is a thing, a pretty cool, like, Top Golf-esque type thing. So I want to hear about that. But let's take a break. We'll get to that on the other side.
Factor meal kits, guys. You can probably take her off the screen, Kel. Now that we're in the thick of summer, you might be looking for some wholesome, convenient meals to support sunny, active days. Look, nobody's got time to cook. We all want to eat a healthy, balanced diet. We don't want to be going out to eat all the time. We want to eat at home, but a lot of us just don't have time to cook. Factor meal kits, that's where they come in. If you're too busy with summer plans to cook, check out Factor meal kits. They are fresh, never frozen meals that are just ready in 2 minutes. All you have to do, pop them in the microwave, heat, and enjoy. Then you can get right back outside to soak up the warm weather. They're healthy. They're good for you. They have protein plus meals with 30 grams of protein or more per serving. This is called Factor meal kits.
That sounds convenient for me.
Factor meal kits. These things taste great too. From keto to calorie smart, vegan plus veggie options, protein plus, like I said, meals prepared by chefs and approved by dietitians. Each meal has all the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long while meeting your goals. So what you got to do, head to factormeals.com with the code DNVR Nugs 50, DNVR NUGS 50. Put that code in. You're going to get 50% off your order from factormeals.com. Then they'll just show up on your doorstep, pop in the microwave, 2 minutes, boom. You're ready to go. These things taste great. So go to factormeals.com/DNVR Nugs 50.
Nice. I wrote that down. I'm going to look that up. Speaking of feeling satisfied.
I've got some here today.
Rip it. Kind Love. Kind Love is excited to be an official partner of DNVR and support another local brand.
That he got Factor
meal kits, and I got Kind
really
Love.
Well done.
And we're excited. It's a mutual excitement because Kind Love is a quality dispenser. You can always feel satisfied with their products because they're one of the first dispensaries in Colorado. They've been around since 2010. They cultivate some of the highest quality cannabis in the state. I would know. I've smoked it, fellas. They've got a lot of great stuff in their dispensary. All the things you would come to expect from dispensary, plus their own innovative products like the Turbo Core technology. You have to visit one of their stores in Cherry Creek or North Denver. Mention DNVR when you do. Get a DNVR exclusive discount of 25% off all Kind Love flower, pre-rolls, and that Turbo joint line. or just check out their website at kindlove.com. Use code DNVR for online ordering and their full extensive menu.
And I'll tell you, little bit eyeballs here, a little bit of a project we're doing with Kind Love.
Oh.
There is a collaboration in the works.
Oh, is that right?
Just saying.
Sounds immaculate. Let's bring on Jena back here. What a great promo, you know?
Consummate professional.
This tournament seems like it's really coming together.
Let's see if we get her.
We'll give you
Is she back? Jena, there you are.
I'm back. My phone overheated, you guys.
Yeah,
because you're outside,
That sometimes
Jena.
happens in 100-degree weather.
Apparently it's hot out here. I was just enjoying the sun, you know.
There you go.
But,
All right, real
yeah,
quickly
I won't
here-
name the brand of phone.
Alrighty, real quickly
you.
here, Jena. So the tournament is tomorrow, and it's at Sports Social House, right? And this is something you've been working with Sports Social House a little bit. I haven't been down. I'm excited to go check it out. What is it?
The Basketball Social House, it's basically a bar where the center area is like any other bar, right? But all around it are individual, think karaoke style, individual basketball suites where you can basically rent your suite and go in, play basketball, drink, eat, order food. There's a couch, there's a TV, you can watch the game, but you're also playing basketball, and they have a rebounding machine, so you're getting the ball passed out to you. You can run drills, you can train there, you can just hang out there, you can throw parties there. There's going to be this event this weekend is actually a culture summit, a basketball culture summit, something we're trying to do here in the Colorado area, just bringing hoopers together. There's going to be free 5-on-5 pickup all day long for different age groups. 3v3 tournament that Adam already mentioned. We're going to smoke everybody in. So I am not leaving without gold. Adam, I need you to come ready to play. Ice those knees.
Would you,
Okay?
With the bowel movement.
with the bowel movement, would you say we are the favorites going in? Does Vegas have us at the top of the chart here?
I would say we're definitely the favorites going in. Like, obviously, it's a little bit of home court advantage since I am there constantly and I work with this restaurant. So I already know the landscape. I already know what's going to be going down. And you know what? Because we are VIP that day, Adam, we get to eat and drink for free all day. So I'm just going to be feeding drinks to our opponents, you know.
Oh, perfect.
Mile High Sports. I'm going to get Zach buy a few drinks for free. And
There you
then
go.
we're just going to smoke everybody.
I love the idea of that you can drink while playing basketball. Two things I would never combine personally.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
All right, Jena. Well, let's do it. We'll be on social media over the weekend, so follow along, and hopefully we'll have a trophy to show. Is it a trophy? What do we win if we win?
I hope it's a trophy. If not, I'm going to be making us some like medals, gold medals, you know, something. A World Cup trophy-esque sort of trophy is what I'm looking
Giant
for.
trophy. All righty, Jena. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
enjoy your summer.
Thank you, guys. See you soon.
I wonder where the 2019 Media Skills Challenge MVP award that was given to me is right now.
Did you not get to take it home?
Well, I did for a year. I
You
held
brought it
on to
back?
it for a year. I had to give it back.
It's like the Stanley Cup. Yeah.
But then there was no more Nuggets Media Skills Challenge competitions. One and done. I am the only ever
He
champion.
shut it down, man. People were so discouraged. They were like, nobody will ever beat Wind.
Feels like it should be my trophy.
it should be named after you.
Let's have some fun with lineups
name
here,
is
guys.
on
Let's
it.
get into some actual Nuggets talk here. Lineups are the Nuggets starting lineup is obviously going to be what wins or doesn't for the Nuggets next year. So the only question, usually in a year coming into it, it's like, what's the starting lineup? What are this or that? The Nuggets, we kind of know the big one. But here's the thing: I wonder. They played 1,853 minutes last year. And I'm just curious if you think they're going to play more or fewer minutes together. Some of this is health dependent, but you can answer this both the literal total minutes, but also the spirit of it. Do you think Denver will have the same rotation? Do you think Denver starters will play the same amount?
You asking me?
Well, it is a talk show. Like we all kind of give it
Yeah,
a
yeah.
You made a motion. I didn't know if that
was a
through the
short
wind.
gesture.
It was to
It was a
this side of the
short-
Why didn't-
couch. I
Yes.
think it was closer to you.
Okay. I believe, yes, they would love to keep their starting lineup together. We obviously don't know anything about the bench. The bench is obviously, there's a lot of flux there. All of the changes happened on the bench. So Jeff Green no longer, Bruce Brown no longer. Those are the two first guys up off of the bench. Reggie Jackson is going to presumably have a large part of what that looks like. And then, Christian Brown, is he the sixth man? Peyton Watson. I mean, there's Vlatko no longer. I mean, I literally have no idea what this bench is going to look like.
But the first one is just the idea of like the minutes they play. But let me go to a more interesting question for you here, Wind. They had a 13.1 net rating last year, that starting lineup. And if you go month by month, it was like 13.1, 12.9, 13.2, 12.8. Like it was almost the exact same all the way through. And then you got to the playoffs and it dropped to 9.9 or something, right?
Yeah.
So if I said 13.1, starting lineup next year, higher or lower than 13.1 net?
I'm actually going to go higher.
Smart, I think.
Because what we forget sometimes when talking about the Nuggets' last regular season, Nikola Jokic doesn't forget this, of course, but Jamal Murray was bad for the first 20 games.
Yep.
He was bad.
Yep.
He hit that game winner against the Blazers. I believe that was his 20th game.
It was his, but not the team's. Yep.
Right. It kind of set his season into motion. But I expect him to be obviously way better at the start of this season than he was at the start of last season. Yeah. And so I would go higher. And to your last question as well, I almost expect the Nuggets starters to play together more than they did last year, just because there is more uncertainty with the bench heading into next season.
Yeah, and then just the potential Bruce instead of Porter with the starter minutes are probably not as likely. If it were Christian, that's a big swing.
That's a good point.
And then there's I don't know if this one will be different, but it's worth talking about how they approached the end of the season, of course, where that net rating just fell off a cliff.
Right.
And it even just a little bit more effort can really sustain a bigger number.
In April, they were a negative. But, I mean, they only played like 50 minutes or something. But just to show how much they took their foot off the gas.
They were stat deflating.
Yeah.
They anchored it. So, now, there's the obvious counter argument that if we're expecting more minutes together, it's a larger sample size. 13.1 is awfully good. Hard to sustain. But I'm with Wind that you can point to areas where you go, I don't even think that was the finished product of what we hope to see.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you guys. I'm going to go down on minutes played. Part of this is just I do think Denver maybe comes with a different stagger this year. They're going to be more question marks. I'm going to go down, but I'm going to go up in net rating. I would not be surprised if this was a plus 15, which it doesn't sound like a lot, 13 to 15. It is.
A lot, yeah.
It is actually quite a bit. 13 is already like an insane. That's per 100 possessions. That lineup outscores you by 13. That's blowout territory.
Every game.
Every single game. That's on average.
Yeah.
And to go up to 15 would be a meaningful leap, but I just would not be surprised. What's the highest you could see that net rating for that group? What's the highest before you go like, no way? For a whole season. Assuming they play, we'll say 1,200 plus minutes.
I mean, I don't know. The limit does not exist. I don't know.
Really?
15?
Yeah, 15 feels like...
So if I told you, actually, it's plus 18 they were this year, you would be like, no way.
Yeah, I'd be like, sure.
It's a lot.
Yeah, sure.
Every game, you just expect that they win by 18 points.
Well, per 100 possessions, but yeah.
And one of the lessons for us and all that has gone the Nuggets' way over the years are all the little things that haven't, right? So it's very easy right now to sit here and go, okay, yeah, well, if everyone's healthy and if everyone's together and it all goes the way we want, we could see this. But you have to expect, I think, 5 games from Jokic, 7 to 10 from MPJ.
Right.
Maybe just Murray doesn't have it regular season night. Like, those things happen. Things just happen. So there is probably a limit. But
what's the number for you? And I want to hear in the chat, too. What's the number to where anything higher than that you would find hard to believe if I told you right now?
I mean, 15 itself is a huge jump, right?
Wow.
So I do think, like, I'll probably go there. But to the spirit of the point, that is there significant headroom here? I would say yes.
I'll say 17. Because to me, if you told me they had a plus 17, I don't think I'd bat an eye. I'd be like, oh, wow, this was a great year. But to me, it's not that surprising. If you told me 18, I'd kind of be like, holy crap, what do we win, 60 games?
Yeah.
But if you told me 17, I'd be like, hey, man, that lineup is really good. They now have one full year of not just playing a regular season together, but a postseason that brought them even more together. So if you told me out of the package, that's just a lineup that lineup is a positive all but 3 times next year. And then half the time they're like a plus 15 or something, raw numbers, not net. I wouldn't be shocked.
This is all of these like little thought exercises we do just come down to how motivated are the Nuggets to perform in the regular season? Are they to the point where they want to be looked at as a juggernaut, or are they already into the part where they just want to make the playoffs? And I honestly don't know. Their starting unit is good. I mean, they can do whatever they want. It really is up to them.
I'm going to share an insight on Jokic here that I believe. It's a chore. A lot of basketball is a chore. And so the idea of motivation in November, December is a fair one. How hard is he? How aggressive, this or that? But in basketball, it's rare for when the ball gets popping or when a team falls into such a nice groove that it's, to me, that is the most fun thing there is. That's not work. That's not anything. It's just, and we know Yoke, and I honestly think, again, that Yoke feels this way about basketball too, that when the team is playing in sync, there's nothing more fun. You'll play hard, and it's not even playing hard. You're just like motivated to do it. And so part of me thinks the question of like how motivated will they be is only half of it. If they naturally have the rhythm that they had established for most of the year in the playoffs next year, only on another level, they might just be like, you know what's fun? This. And we're really good at it, and we can do it at 90% speed and dominate, and it's fun, so we're doing it every time.
That's what happened to the Warriors.
That's
too.
exactly what happened.
And I don't even like the going for the record, like that stuff I think almost happened.
Right.
What as a symptom of what happened first.
Right.
Was they're like, holy shit, let's do this every night.
Every night we're in rhythm.
We can.
Yeah,
this
we're
is
just in rhythm.
awesome. Let's go. And you could see it in there. As serious as the Warriors are and have been, when it gets time to it, there's a palpable joy when they're at their best. And I think you're right that it's almost F the calculation, right? Let's just hoop.
I love that you brought up the Warriors, because to me that is exactly what happened, and I could see it with Jokic. I could see him playing really hard in November and December. Not really hard as in he's pushing himself, but where we're like, man, he seems dialed in. And why is he dialed in? Because it's so fun when the team is doing that. And it sucks when they're not. And if they're not, he's probably not going to save them in October, November the way he will in April, May, and June.
Yeah.
But they might not have to, because that's what happened with the Warriors. They just found that rhythm over and over and over again, and everybody had fun. All right.
Speaking of the Warriors, real quick, they were the best five-man lineup last season. 21.9 net rating.
Jesus.
How many minutes?
300. So about a little under half of what the Nuggets starting lineup played.
Wasn't the Nuggets starting lineup? Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's a pretty significant sample size difference.
Yeah. But it is a good lineup. They were really, really good
But
at that.
the Nuggets starting lineup, like, was one of the top lineups in the league in terms of minutes played.
Right. Let's get to this one here, because I find it interesting. Most interesting lineup. Now, this is the one where it's like, it doesn't matter if it has any chance of playing. What would just be the lineup that you find to be the most interesting one? I'll start with you, Wind.
Well, I mean, I'm very interested to see what the bench lineup looks like.
Definitely.
And I think the most likely bench lineup is just, running back the Jamal Murray stagger. So you've got Jamal Murray, Reggie Jackson, Christian Brown, Zeke Naji, and Peyton Watson.
That to me is like a 6 on the interest scale.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not that interested in that lineup. Like, I don't think that lineup is going to be great. I don't really want to see it that much. I feel like we are going to see it a lot. I am going to use this to talk about the bench lineup that I want to see, and that's with Michael Porter Jr. out there.
Yeah.
And it's Nikola Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., Peyton Watson, Christian Brown, and Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is the bench lineup I want to see. Am I confident that Michael Malone's going to go to it? No, because we know that they prefer to stagger Jamal Murray with the bench, not Michael Porter Jr. But I think having Porter out there, getting a chance to see what he can do with more offensive responsibility, get him some more shots in those bench lineups, have him out there with a lot of defense around him with Christian Brown and Peyton Watson, two guys that can really fly around and make plays. I want to see that lineup, and I think it could lead to, honestly, a second unit that can hurt teams.
Yeah. I'm going to go next because mine is similar. Just because this was most interesting. Not necessarily most interesting bench lineup, but just most interesting. I don't think we're going to see a single second of this.
Maybe not.
We're going to take a while, but if it's Murray and Reggie's spot. So you go with Murray, Porter, and Jokic, the offensive big three of this team. And then you go with Christian Brown and Peyton Watson, the puppies of the team. To me, that's the perfect blend.
That feels to me like the playoff bench lineup.
I mean, maybe. It could be. Maybe we do see it a whole lot. But to me, that is the present and future lineup. but it also just so happens to make sense as a coherent one. And then lastly, when you have Porter at power forward, I just love. It's not a great. I don't know if it's a great defensive lineup, although you do have Peyton and Christian Brown. Maybe they grow into the ability to cover for you there. But I do love MPJ stretching the court, Murray Jokic 2-man game, and then what do you have? 2 wings that stay in their lane and slash in Brown and Peyton. I hope we see that one because to me it'd be so fun.
Slight modification from you guys. Reggie Jackson is not in my most interesting lineup, but I am interested in the bench. I'll take Jokic out of this simply because it's
like cheating.
Whenever he's in, it's like
I'm not that interested in it. It works. It works. So
this isn't about bench though.
no, I understand. So, but Murray, Christian, Peyton, MPJ, and Zeke. And so you have 3 kind of rangy athletes that can play defense, that can get out and run a little bit. Porter and Zeke together can maybe rebound just enough. And the idea is, Murray can run a little bit. There's a little more floor spacing. And maybe this is the best way to experiment a budding chemistry between Murray and Porter, and then also getting Porter more looks without getting out of what you really want to do when the best 5 are on the floor. Yeah. Also, I just think you have to get a look at Zeke because even if you get to the deadline, you don't want to not know what that looks like.
I think they'll know what they got in Zeke.
Me too, that's just why he slots into this
Let
lineup.
me give you one. Let me set you up for one that's tailored for you. Give me the MPJ lineup. We want MPJ to be option number 1 in this lineup. What's the best lineup you can build where he is the go-to guy?
Well, then I think it's that one, but instead of Murray, it's Reggie. And so you go Reggie, Christian, Peyton, MPJ, and Zeke.
Is that a good lineup?
No.
Yeah, that's not a good one.
Yeah. The question with MPJ is so funny because
thanks for the follow-up.
I was like, well, all right, moving on.
It's not. No.
I actually wonder if Michael Porter Jr.'s best position is the 4.
It is.
He's great at the 3. He's an unbelievable floor stretcher, unbelievable shooter. He's gotten great chemistry, found some great rhythm with Nikola Jokic in the 2-man game, in those dribble handoffs and just the actions that they run. But if you think about just how much he can bend and hurt a defense when he's playing the 4 as opposed to the 3, and if that was next to a Nikola Jokic, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
And then you think about his rebounding and the type of players he'd be guarding at the 4 compared to players he'd be guarding at the 3. I think in a lot of different situations, he'd be a full-time 4.
Right.
But Denver, he's a 3, and he's great at it. I mean, it's a freaking deadly lineup. Nobody can stop it. But I just want to see more Michael Porter Jr. at the 4.
You know what you can't do if you have a lineup that you feel confident? The other team can't just say, yeah, and our 5 guards their 4 and lurks.
Right.
Because it's
You can't
Porter
cheat.
in the corner.
Yeah. Oh, you murder him. All right, Eric, I'll give you this one, which I've been thinking about. Nuggets are down 1 with 15 seconds to go. You call timeout. You need a bucket. What lineup do you put on the court?
I mean, the starters.
The Nuggets are now up 1. They need to get a stop. What 5-man lineup? 15 seconds. What lineup do you put out there?
So I honestly think the most interesting thing to me going into the season is what do we have in P-Watt? Is he the defensive stopper?
It is.
Does he have what it takes in high leverage moments? We saw him down the stretch where the moments were not big, but he shined. Is he mature enough to be able to, not bite on fakes, keep his head about him? Christian, another guy you look at, just an absolute defensive stalwart. I would probably do.
So the offense part, you think just starters? It doesn't matter.
Oh, do I put Jokic in this? There have been times where he's been taken out for defense, but I probably would keep Jokic. And
You need rebounding.
Yeah, you do. So I would go Jokic. I would go. Oh man,
Gordon's on there.
I would probably put. I would honestly put Christian at the 1, to guard their 1. I would put P-Watt in there, maybe to guard the 3 or the 2.
I mean, that's the biggest question. Are you trusting P-Watt? What if you need
over
a stop?
Porter?
Oh, I'm trusting P-Watt over Porter, yes.
Already?
Yes.
See, I think the lineup, if you need a stop.
Is there still room on the MPJs being slandered over here?
I'm not going to
Peyton Watson is a defensive
The idea of
specialist
Peyton Watson
in his
sounds
way.
great.
It's not that Michael Porter Jr. can't do it, but if you're telling me I have to get a stop and I have a guy that the reason he's on this team is because he is known to be a defensive minded player. That to me is more enticing.
Yeah. I'm going to need to see something from Peyton Watson before I can trust him in that situation. If I need a stop, I'm going the starters, but just Christian Brown for Michael Porter.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
I agree. My point in this exercise was the Denver starters might be their best offensive and defensive closing lineup, and Porter being swapped out situationally depending on who it is or what have you is really the only thing I can see. And that's kind of wild that very few teams have their starting lineup be their best situational lineups as well. And Denver might be a position where they are sans that one piece that you might put in.
And maybe the big difference between that and last year is that Christian is not a ball handler. So he can come in and say, I can play defense in place of Porter, but it's not. There were times where part of it was let's get another guard on the floor too. And Christian is a guard, but not in that way, not a ball handler. So that's a big difference.
So then the last lineup I have here that I think is interesting. You guys know I'm a big Jalen Pickett guy. I don't know if you guys had heard.
What?
Wait, which?
Really
It's actually
big
been a
fan.
while since I've heard
Which
you
one is
say
that?
that. Are
Wait,
you still a Jalen Pickett
who?
guy?
I'm still a big Jalen Pickett guy, but I do think that the team's not going to bend to him, so he's going to have to fit in. But over time, could he be good enough that they're like, okay, well, how do we maximize him? Here's what I think would be the maximized Jalen Pickett bench role.
I
could easily give him
I
Jokic
love that this gets into the rundown.
It gets its
by the
own
way.
rundown. It gets its own thing.
Unbelievable.
Because
We just passed over the Jamal Murray lineup for the Jalen Pickett lineup.
again, those guys, we already know what their best lineups are. I'm trying to say this is one that could actually be meaningful because it might actually be Denver's best rotation.
All right, let's hear it.
So you obviously Jalen Pickett's at point guard.
Okay.
Has to be.
I think you give him KCP as his shooting guard.
Okay.
So you have a great shooter. He's very good at running that rub action where you try to get a switch, and if they don't switch, you get your shooter releasing for
He
a
is
quick
great
one.
at that.
Very good at that one. KCP also a good defensive player. You give him Peyton Watson. He's off the bench as well. He's at the 3.
Okay.
Gives you a slasher, gives you a secondary ball handler perhaps as the season goes on. Michael Porter at the 4. So this is a double stagger lineup. This is not a single one. This is a double stagger. You're giving him MPJ to shoot. You're giving him KCP to shoot, and then Zeke Naji to switch everything. So this is a switch everything lineup that has knockdown shooting in KCP and Michael Porter. It has
That gives them enough space to run booty ball.
enough space, which is important here.
I'm dead serious.
You can run pick and pop with Porter. You could run pick and pop with Zeke. And I think that this is the lineup. And by the way, Brown, Pickett, and Zeke are already the bench. So this is kind of the natural rotation anyway. It just would require you staggering 2 players instead of 1. But to me, if I knew that was Denver's plan going into it, they're like, you know what? This is the rotation we want. I would be like, I am so in on this year. It might have a bumpy start, but I am so in on that being the best. That to me has the best potential of any rotation the Nuggets could throw.
Yeah. It's going to be so interesting to see just how Jalen Pickett's season goes, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think a lot of it is dependent on how Reggie Jackson fares.
Yes, it is.
I mean, if Reggie Jackson is competent, I don't know how much we see of Jalen Pickett, you know? But if Reggie Jackson is iffy, we've said this all summer, we would not be surprised if Jalen Pickett's thrown into there pretty early on.
I like it. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, let's get casual. Let's snake draft.
Let's do it.
I have a list of overrated things that span.
This guarantees to be the end of this podcast.
It really is. I have some that are really going to be offensive to
I
people.
know. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm gonna
The
lose
overrated foods draft was such a hit, we've just expanded
Yes.
it to overrated.
Yeah, we've
Overrated
realized
everything.
we've realized outrage equals eyeballs.
That's all anybody wants to talk about. When you get hurt, Backs and Shankers here to help. The coolest thing about Backs and Shankers, you don't pay them any money until they win your case.
That is pretty sick.
Call them up, give them your case. They start working on it. You're not paying them any money right then. You can check in with them, see how it's still not paying them any money. You only pay Backs and Shanker money if they win your case, and you're probably gonna have to pay them in the end because they do win a lot of cases. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. All throughout Colorado, they've got neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, Fort Collins. They've got 30 lawyers, 100 people on staff. Backs and Shanker helps with all kinds of injury cases where you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. They can even help you if you're injured at work. Give them a call. 303-222-2222. Just mash that 2 button.
Let's go.
You'll either get Backs or Shanker on the other line. Find out if you have a case for free. Backs and Shanker wins.
Hey, Have you guys heard about pins and aces?
Hey.
They're so cool. They make you look so cool on the golf course. They make you feel confident, stay cool while looking cool, even in the heat. Yeah, they're the official golf apparel partner of ALLCITY and DNVR, baby. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags, even our favorite beer sleeve. That's just what it sounds like. To sleep, keeps your beer cold, sick. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use code DNVR. Receive 15% off your order, your first order, and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com. I got mine. It's awesome. I can wear it casually. I can work out in it. I can wear it in the heat. I love the material. Check out Pins and Aces. They're dope.
There you go. All right, snake draft time.
Oh,
What's interesting about this one is usually we're obsessed about the order. This one, like, it's so broad, it doesn't even matter.
It does not matter.
Give us any spot. Kel, can you bring up the board?
You need a really solid first round pick, though, I feel like.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I can't wait for this. Who goes first? Vogt gets number one.
Oh,
All
God.
right,
Like,
well, there's a safe thing I can do here.
Celtics?
There's a safe thing I can do here.
Potato chips.
Boston, the Northeast. What are we going?
Can you throw the city? Can you throw the city of Boston up there? For me?
Oh, Boston is overrated.
I
just put
actually, I have a
Boston.
state,
You can just put
I have a
Boston,
state
Kel.
city on
Boston,
my
yeah.
list, too.
Oh, wow.
Hoping to get in the second round.
All right, Boston. Well, Boston's off the board.
What's
Strong
the
agree.
most overrated thing about Boston?
The Celtics.
All right. Well,
I mean, they have won a lot of
I
championships.
thought you were just going to say the people.
Yeah, but like before the Cold War. This was a long time ago.
So you probably should have just put the Celtics. Is what I'm
No,
hearing
I
here.
like
hates
this.
Boston, though.
Yeah,
It goes
it's,
deeper
it's
than this.
broader.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
goes
no,
deeper.
I'm
there's a
comfortable.
level.
Listen, I'm comfortable with my pick. Your turn.
It's a good pick.
Thank you.
Ooh, my number one pick.
Most overrated things.
I think I'm going to go with a college degree.
Dang it, that was number one on my board.
I possess a college degree.
You do?
Same.
A lot of people here don't. It in the company.
Really?
Yeah. You'd be
Adam's like, I
surprised.
did not know about this.
I had to do a better job.
But
Also, overrated.
But it really depends on what path you want to take in life. But for most people, you can save yourself 40 grand or whatever.
It's a lot more than that. Yeah.
wow.
A year.
That's a
Yeah,
semester.
this is a guy that went to
Yeah.
college in the 80s. Yeah. So college degree is good. That was number one on my board.
Okay, well, listen.
Okay, that's like when you type it into Google and you're like, "What's the most overrated thing?"
Yeah, who would do that?
All right, what do you got, Wind?
I mean, I don't know if I have any like first round picks on here.
What?
My number one pick. This is something I've always thought is overrated throughout my entire life, and I could not understand all my friends' obsessions with it and all their parents' obsessions with it. Milk.
This is a great pick.
Milk
pick.
is disgusting.
This is a hilarious
I
pick.
cannot believe people drink it. It's only good in cereal
This
and
is
maybe
such a good boulder take.
a splash in a cup of coffee.
How do we feel about the derivations of milk? Ice cream. All the,
That's true.
All the things that milk.
I am just saying, I am basing this like a
Milk
glass
in
of
its-
milk.
milk
A
in its
glass of
liquid
milk.
form.
I would go over to like my friend's house when I was in middle school, and their mom would pour me a glass of milk,
Oh,
and I'm
Steven
like,
Glansberg.
"Are you kidding? You guys actually drink this?"
Yeah. Wow.
I think it's a hilarious pick. This draft is
we're gonna
already,
get so. I'm gonna go for most offensive, but I'm gonna start soft. I'm gonna ease into this. My number one.
bring that comment.
Which one?
Milk is amazing. What the fuck?
Dude, I'm telling you, this is regional. This is
Milk
a boulder
is
take.
disgusting.
If you're from like the heartland of America, milk is something you drink your whole life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and it's disgusting.
well, it isn't if it's part of who you are. Bathtubs. Now I know people will say bathtubs, but here's what I'm telling you.
Baths?
I did bathtubs.
Oh.
Because I, did real estate for a long time, whatever. Always put a bathtub in a bath, and then everyone would come into the house and go, ooh, a tub. You know how many times that person will take a bath in their time living in that house? 3.
I actually really agree with this. Every shower should be a standing shower.
Yeah.
Like a walk-in shower type thing.
Yes. And then, but I'm telling you, people will pay $10,000-$15,000 more for a house because it has a bathtub that they will
clawfoot
never
That's crazy.
use.
I would think it'd be the other way. You
No.
would pay for the glass door shower.
No, you pay way more for the bathtub.
That is crazy.
And
I
it's
might
insane.
save a lot of money
And
on a
I'm not
house one
kidding.
day.
When I did this, I've been in a house for like showing a person a house or something 20,000 times, and every single time they walk in and go, "Look at that bathtub!
Wow.
Unbelievable!" And I'm always like, "It's huge." But
This is a real suburban adult take.
Oh, it's such a-
I
yeah.
love it. I love it. Look
All
at
right.
our first round. What a wide variety. What a range.
All right. I'm going with my second pick, Logic. I think Logic is massively
my God.
overrated.
Bro.
Logic?
Right.
We all
time
know
out.
you, philosophy degree, like yada yada yada.
I'm saying, here's the thing.
This is a terrible pick.
Computers are logical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Humans are logical and emotional, and I think that people overrate their logical component of themselves.
I think
That's a good pick, right?
I don't even think I agree with your
This is a
premise.
terrible
You
pick.
don't?
I don't think I agree with your major premise.
Yeah, this is rough.
I think
I would
You-
say emotion is way more overrated.
No way. I'm telling you, it's become underrated.
I don't think enough people utilize logic.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Logic.
Okay,
I'm
this
telling
is,
you,
this is
it's your
killing the
funeral.
draft.
No
This
way. I'm telling you, it's 100%
is
right.
again a top 10 most overrated thing on Google.
So you don't like when people think through the consequences of things they do. What if I do this?
You know,
what
I'm
happens
actually,
next?
this
What
is
happens
actually
next? What
a
happens
Kurt
next?
Vonnegut a little bit, where he says the most we feel like ourselves when we're wrestling with the dog on the floor. Like this
Isn't our well? I believe
This
in
is
the
like,
emotion
oh, yeah,
makes
if
us
you've thrown
human.
your logic
I
out
believe in
and
that.
it-
I just don't think people rate logic highly.
Oh, I think they rate it supremely highly.
I mean, it's
like,
the foundation on which our society is built.
very important, but,
No, but I
also
think a lot of
overrated.
people- Or
Embrace
also-
your emotional
listen,
side.
Yeah, like don't worry about figuring out if you can budget for your meals.
People make so many
make sure-
life decisions based on their logic, and
Yeah,
I'm
like,
saying
think about
major
big
life
li-
decisions need to also
when you make a big life
include your
decision, think about
emotion.
what
I
you
don't
would
think
do
it-
when you were wrestling a dog.
I rest by my case.
I don't think enough people utilize. Listen. It's your draft. It's not mine.
Logic overrated.
Terrible.
All right, Harrison's going with French onion soup. Next pick.
My number 2 pick, something that's synonymous with American culture, but I find incredibly
Oh, boy.
overrated.
Oh boy.
Parades.
Yeah.
Oh,
we just had the greatest
no!
parade of all time.
Oh my god!
Other than
Championship
a
parade?
championship
No, he
parade.
threw it out. You know what?
Fourth of July.
Harrison just branded it himself.
Just say Jokic next.
Yeah,
pick.
Jokic
Pick
overrated.
horses.
4th of July parade,
Oh, I
like
love a parade.
Labor Day
Yeah,
parade,
St. Patrick's Day parade. I agree.
St. Patrick's Day parade,
Unfortunately,
Thanksgiving Day parade. What are we doing? Why do we need a parade for these holidays?
Wynn might be right about parades in general.
Hey, I'm telling you guys.
Nuggets parade stands.
Yeah, I mean those are a different category. Like
this is a-
Americana parades.
I like both of Wynn's picks.
You
I don't
you
at
line
all.
up on a street to like watch somebody in a costume walk.
this really Wind has had a full attack on Middle America.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what parades are? They're community. We used to do
Even
one.
when Wynn's trying not to be.
We
He's
used to,
elitist.
we used to do this little neighborhood. In my old neighborhood one, every 4th of July, there was a neighborhood parade. It was like a simple little thing where we walked around the park. I thought it was the coolest thing.
I don't disagree with the overall premise because I have been at parades where I watched the PT Cruiser Club go by for like 5 minutes. I'm like, why am I here?
Exactly.
However, the championship parade did just happen, and it was one of the most monumental
It was
moments of
dope.
my life, and so that cuts into that a little bit.
That's true.
All right, Eric.
All right. You know what I'm going to go with? Hot coffee. Hot coffee, entirely overrated. Iced coffee, the superior form of coffee.
This is bullshit.
I don't enjoy hot coffee and never drink it. I don't like anything that when I get it, I have to wait 10 minutes before I'm able to even start drinking
See,
it.
that's what I
It's
like
hot
about
little
it.
sips on the. I want to drink the coffee. I want to enjoy it by consuming it. Like I
Okay.
don't want the idea of it to be looming. I mean, it's not logical. I
Yeah.
would say
No. It's very supremely logical. You're
Here's my-
losing out on the experience
Here's
of the
my
coffee
biggest pushback.
because you're just trying to get it in your
Half your
system.
iced coffee is water.
That's a good point. Really good point.
Half of every beverage is water.
No, I'm
No,
actually, I actually
not of a coffee.
So see, to Harrison's point, if you order an iced coffee, like out at a Starbucks, right, or just any coffee place, do you trust for sure that the cream to coffee or ice to water ratio is appropriate, or did they just drown you in water and milk?
Yeah.
I mean,
Half your drink is ice, which is water.
you should look at the ingredients of every beverage.
Yeah, true. It actually is mostly water. All
foundation
right.
of every
We're going to hate
beverage.
everybody's list here. Vote.
I suddenly, like a wave of anxiety about how this whole draft is going for us just washed over me. I'm glad I can't see the numbers right now. Okay,
They're terrible.
I'm gonna go with dressing up. I'm gonna go with dressing up.
Like
Covering your
formal?
legs.
Like
Yeah.
formally?
Yeah, like
Okay.
yeah, or also, I mean, wearing clothes, but dressing up. Yeah, yeah. It feels nice. it's a lot of work to look a certain way for a very short amount of time. What do you do the first thing you get home? You take that shit off because you want to be more comfortable than you were. As someone who eats like an animal, regardless of where they're at, it makes staying nice difficult throughout the night. Plus, it's expensive. And like you could just vibe out and buy flower shirts. Dressing up, overrated.
It's wild, man. I think
there's always a time and a place for dressing up.
It's Harrison sits here 90-degree weather with the sweater on.
It's actually very cool in this studio.
Harrison saying I think there's a time and place for dressing up. Unsurprising. Okay, for my next pick, I am going to go with golf. I think most of you just want to go for walks with your boys. Go for walks more often. Bring some Bud Lights on the walk.
I will say I've really gotten into golf over these last few weeks. Me and my wife, we have a standing. I like it, man. I've been having a good time.
Golf's great.
Golf is great.
It's good
if you're good at golf,
you have to get
golf
good at it.
Is great.
Oh yeah, you're just not good.
Yeah, that's really what it comes
because I
down
don't
to.
do it.
I'm not very
this goes
good
in line
either.
with dressing up. I find it hard to get into
such a-
golf
you're-
establishments.
dude,
you guys are going to find that. Listen, I think
is my
golf
take.
golf is cool when it belongs to the common man. I once played golf with buddies. I didn't know what I was doing, but we were wearing shorts and like a
Tank top or something. Yeah, you're
just-
outdoors.
Yeah, outdoors in an all rundown course, walking around with a 30 rack. That was a blast.
Dude, that's how I
But
play
my
golf.
grandpa belonged to a golf club, and I have never hated a place that I was in more in my
You're
life.
both wrong
You don't
and
like
right.
pretense, is what you
Yeah,
don't like. Golf is one of the great things in life if you play it correctly.
Okay, fine. Golf culture, whatever.
Yeah,
I
that's
believe
perfect.
golf culture.
Golf culture is
Can I
great.
do golf
there
culture?
You go.
All right.
All right. What do you got, Eric?
Wow. Let's see. Okay.
Big pick right here.
Okay. I feel like who's going to be upset with this pick? You know what I'm going to go with? Zombies, zombie movies, zombie TV
this
shows.
is a good pick.
The premise of zombies is so
The Walking
overrated.
Dead, maybe most overrated show ever.
Zombies are
a good pick. That's a
basically
good
an
pick.
allegory
Really good
for our society falling. We always go immediately to zombies. What happens after the apocalypse? What are human beings? What are we left with? But there's no innovation. We keep going. The closest thing we have is The Last of Us, and they're like, no, they're not zombies. They're mushroom people. They're zombies.
They're
I don't care
zombies,
what everyone
you're
says.
right.
They're zombies. Zombies is such an overrated, overused trope, and it's so boring at this point.
I had The Last of Us on my list, and I'm taking it off because you have zombies.
Yes.
And I'm like, didn't do it for me.
Yeah, Zombies is about tapped out. I
I
feel
like that actor. I like the
Yeah.
look. You know, there's things you can like about a show.
Flava Ava once told me that I look like a white Pedro Pascal. I don't see it at all. But
Oh, you kind of see
I'll
it.
take it.
I can kind
I'll
of see
take
it. All right, Wind.
All right, third round pick. I'm going with Vegas clubs.
Oh, dude, yeah, for sure.
Vegas clubs.
Walter.
The only good part about Vegas clubs, you can only enjoy Vegas clubs if you're absolutely loaded and if you're willing to drop
so true.
like $5,000 to $10,000 in a night. That's
Bro, I
the
just- I
only
have
way you can
clubbing.
enjoy it.
Yeah. I
on
had
my list.
clubbing, too.
Clubbing is on my list.
So, I mean, you can say
have
that
DJs.
specifically Vegas clubs. I mean, I've gone to a bunch of clubs in my day. I will never go again unless I have a table, and that means I'm either throwing down a ridiculous amount of money or with somebody who's throwing down a ridiculous amount of money. Like the lines to get in, again, if you don't have a table, are like hours long. You have to dress up.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
pretty tough, isn't it, when you have to
it's-
dress up?
It's ridiculous. And then like you get in there, if you're trying to like do it on a budget, you get one bottle that lasts 15 minutes once everybody pours a drink, maybe even less. And then they're like, all right, so you want another bottle? And you're like, no, I don't want to drop another $1,000, but then you have to leave if you don't. So it's ridiculous. Vegas clubs.
I like it.
I don't want to tweet this one
First
out.
of all, I just feel like we all hate Vegas clubs.
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty
you have to
even.
be- you have
We've
to
been
be-
to Vegas together.
You,
we know
you
what
can
we
see
like.
us. You can see us. We're on the
My
TV.
last one, and then we'll take a break after this one. Hamilton.
God damn it! That was on my
great
list.
pick.
Yes!
Great pick.
Hamilton.
It's actually good. I actually
This should have been the
enjoyed it.
first overall.
thought
I know,
was
it is good.
I like it.
It
I
is
don't
good.
even hate it, but
This is
I
it.
tell
But
you,
it's overrated.
You ever watch something after it's already been taken off, and you're like, I'm ready for this to be the greatest thing of a decade, and you watch it, and you're like,
It was
I
good.
thought Hamilton was good the first time I watched it.
I was unable to make it through. Sorry, Kale.
Really?
Musical theater is atrocious.
We should have just made a list
Yeah,
of
musical
Kale's
theater.
favorite
By the way,
things.
I did check Kale's face.
So dumb.
I did check his face when we said that. He wasn't thrilled.
I thought this was going to be controversial. I'm so glad I got
Yeah,
this one.
It is good and it is overrated.
That's exactly how I
I think
feel.
you're right. It's a great pick.
All right, let's take a break on the other
I just
side.
feel like it's
two
how
more
my
rounds
mom,
of this.
how my mom would rap through it.
It's so
Hey,
true.
let's make
so
education
true.
fun.
It definitely feels like something my sociology teacher would have done in
So brutal.
10th grade.
It's so brutal.
It turns out that's where this came. And everyone's
God.
like, genius.
We're giving up too much of ourselves. People like us less, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's so true.
Maybe they did.
Breckenridge Brewery is the official beer of DNVR, and the official beer of the month at the DNVR Bar is the Mountain Beach Sour. $6 for a Mountain Beach Sour at the DNVR Bar the entire month of August. So if you're local,
First
stop
dislike.
in. Tonight, it's Friday. We got Friday Night Live with the Avs crew. Are they doing a live podcast?
Yes.
They're doing a live pod
gonna be Rudo and
downstairs at the bar. Rudo and Megan, stop in if you're in the area. Watch the podcast, hang out, drink a Mountain Beach Sour for $6. Next week, we're doing our Friday Night Live at the DNVR Bar book signing. Stop in for that. But Breckenridge Brewery, the official beer of DNVR, beer of the month, Mountain Beach Sour. It's $6 here, but you can find it wherever Breckenridge Brewery is sold. If you don't know where to get Breck Brew, check out the beer locator on their website. Type in your zip code, get you Breck Brew wherever you are.
It's a great time to sign up to become a DNVR diehard. You can come to the bar and talk with us about, all the things that you like that we hate. You know what I mean? Like, we love to tell you about the things you thought were cool that we hate. That's why you like listening to us. That's why you like hanging out with us. No, but actually, it's a great time to sign up and become a DNVR diehard. It's an awesome time to stop by the bar 1 week from today, August 25th. Live show with the fellas. What a treat. And there's more. We're also going to sign those books. So if you have purchased Golden Era, come bring your book. Chill with the fellas, grab our signatures. You can come buy the book here, talk nugs, hang out with other diehards, enjoy. And that's the kind of thing that you can expect from the DNVR Bar, and you can expect all kinds of discounts and bonuses at events when you are a member. Sign up, free t-shirt at sign up, and every year after, 20% off all merch, 20% off all events, and much more. Go to thednvr.com now. Become a member. A diehard, excuse me.
Don't forget, guys, by the way, next Friday, our live show right here at the DNVR Bar. We're going to be doing a live show at 6 o'clock and then hanging out with all of you beautiful people. Come on down. Let's hang out. It's been a whole summer or half a summer. Oh, it's been a whole summer. We haven't hung out. Get out here. We're going to do a live show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to push this really hard starting next week. All right, we're back here doing a snake draft of most overrated things. I'm taking the 80s. I've always thought the 80s were massively overrated
Interesting,
culturally and all of this stuff. Hair bands,
Okay,
there
all
are
right.
some good movies. I'll give the 80s has some good classics, Back to the Future
Yes.
and Indiana Jones.
Yep.
There's some good stuff in there. But I think the general 80s vibe is so, there's a nostalgia for it where it was actually pretty lame.
We've moved on to the 90s now. The 90s is now the prevalent.
I love the 90s.
Vintage. You love the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the 90s. Very good.
Yes. This is
70s,
also- this
great.
is cyclical.
90s, great.
Time,
80s,
just so everyone understands, a flat circle.
yeah, flat circle. But 80s, do you have a thing for 80s?
I mean, this is all of this comes down to nostalgia. This is when I was a child, so there are things that I look back on very fondly. But I mean, 80s movies are mostly terrible. I mean, the pacing is weird. They're oddly they're way more racy and way more I don't know, just dirty than you think they are. Kids movies are way dirtier.
Yeah,
in
a
the
little
80s.
dirtier.
That is true, right?
80s too? Was this ancient?
Yeah, a little bit. In fact, to the point where it's far enough back that I bleed 80s and 70s stuff together. Whereas
Yeah,
I could say
really?
I know distinctly what is 90s. I would actually say,
Okay.
it's so far in the past. It's boring to me. You know what I mean?
Gotcha,
That's,
gotcha.
Yeah.
The 40s and 30s are this to me. All right, what do we got?
All right, I'm up now. I am going to go with New Year's Eve. Most
Oh,
overrated
man, no.
holiday.
No,
I actually
No,
I'm
it's
kind of
not.
with this. I'm kind of with this.
New Year's
A
Eve.
lot of build up.
You get dressed up.
Yeah. That's the second time you've picked my pick within your pick.
You're either going to somebody's house or some event that you have to pay a ridiculous cover charge for. Man. Then midnight hits. Oh, yeah, midnight, New Year, blah, blah, blah. Then the worst part about New Year's Eve, finding a way home.
Yeah.
Ubers are ridiculously expensive.
It's true.
You don't want to drive because you've probably been drinking, and it's like the biggest night for DUIs of the year. Obviously, it's impossible to get home. It's usually
You did some research.
It's usually ridiculously cold on New Year's Eve, so walking is probably out of the question.
This is well
Plus,
argued.
if you're-
It's well argued.
Plus,
so
if
disagree,
you're
but
with like your
making
wife or
some
girlfriend,
points.
she's probably wearing heels. She can't walk anywhere. You have to get a ride. You're spending a ton of money. It's just the most overrated holiday.
I found in my life like
And it can just be any freaking day.
yeah, I found in my life like the anxiety to like make sure that you are at the right New Year's
Right.
event.
You got to
has
have
been-
a plan. You
Well,
got to be
are
like,
you
all
at the
right,
party?
where are we going?
Yeah.
Man, you've made a really good argument, but I will say this is what I'm talking about. That's a very logical argument. Like we can get logic and ruin everything. I'm saying there's an emotional thing about the transition of one year to the other, the passing of time, the reflection on it. I like New Year's. I'm a big fan. All right, Eric, what do you got?
Oh boy, so many overrated things. All right, I'm going to go in the same vein as I did before. Superhero movies are
It's a good one, yeah.
vastly overrated.
Yeah.
They started the problem with
You
them
should
is
just
that
put
they're-
Marvel in there.
the problem with superhero movies is that it started off strong. There were some good ones, interesting ones, and now, unfortunately, the capitalists have gotten involved.
Yeah,
They
of
realize
course.
that Disney is involved, and they just cannot stop pumping these things out. Obviously, there are decades and decades of source material, but it's got me thinking that maybe a lot of those comic books weren't good.
That's so true.
A lot of the same premise over and over. A lot of guys punching other guys into buildings, even though it does nothing but ruin the buildings.
Right.
Then they just
right.
fly off. They're
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah. Looks cool though.
It does look cool.
Still never seen one. You guys know my take. All right, Vogt, what do you got? Round out your thing here. 2 picks.
All right. In case I haven't seemed cranky enough, I'm good on
Tennis.
I'm good on TikTok, man. Yeah, I'm good on TikTok.
Let's get old.
I just
Vogt is the old. I'm telling you.
when we
Vogt
took
no, but look
wants
at
to
this.
sit around
listen,
naked.
we took things. I do. We
Just
took things
watch
online,
basketball.
and I thought that that was a logical progression. It was a logic to move some of society online, right? Both metaphorically and literally. To become digital, I thought was not a departure from our human nature. The way we have crunched consuming anything and content into just 30-second bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And it needs a thumbnail, and something's got to be in all caps, and there's like a noise going on, and there's in the corner of the screen there's a different video.
We got to get a
playing.
show with you and Jeff Morton,
And
man. We just got to
and
get
it's
like
30 seconds long, and we as content creators have to pander to this because they're the new generation of consumers, people who can't stay awake in the afternoon while they look at their phones unless it's going off.
Have you made a TikTok before?
Change Brendan's to the youth.
Aren't you doing our social media on Nuggets?
Yeah, not on TikTok, dude. Short form content to me, like the crunching and the condensing of the like, everything is content is becoming shadows and echoes.
Do you
of
feel
itself.
about the same about poems?
No, I haven't thought much about poems.
You're like, they're so short. It's like a story into 3 sentences.
If you can't discern the difference between
I can't.
a
I'm
poem
just saying
and
with
a
the argument
TikTok,
that you made
no,
right
no,
there.
no. What's presented
Oh, no,
to
there
us
are some really good TikToks. There's some really,
I
really good
believe
ones.
that, but there's also the cadence of like I don't have TikTok, and all I hear are other human beings watching TikTok all fucking day, and you just hear the start of like some girl telling a story on TikTok. So I was at Starbucks the other day.
Most people, I'll be honest, most people hate TikTok. I think you're right.
Okay,
Most people
thank
hate
you.
TikTok.
Sorry, I got excited. Oh, do I have another pick?
Yeah. One more.
Get off my lawn.
Lacrosse.
Okay, now I'm going to swing the other way. I need to rebalance myself out. This is a very young take. I'm going to go for the olds. The film Rocky.
Man, I hate this one of yours. Not the Rocky series, just Rocky 1.
Yeah.
The Oscar winner.
Yeah.
So
all right.
I didn't we do this or
Yeah, when there were no sports.
Yeah, I actually went back and watched Rocky. That
Yeah.
was the podcast I was on, and yeah, it was a rough watch.
The hard thing about doing movies like that is that it was a foundational movie that
you
inspired
gotta
the next one.
Think
so,
about the time of
yeah, like I mean, I get it. A lot of those
life it
things.
was in.
All right, where are we at? I think Rocky's okay, but you're right that it is a rough watch.
I'm a yeah.
It's a rough watch.
Let's see. I already know I'm not going to win this, so
It is.
How many people can I make upset with this pick? You know what? I'm going to go the lesser, but it's going to get me a lot of hate. The show, The Office. I find it to be so predictable.
What?
Yes, exactly.
Office is a great show.
There are
it's
definitely
great.
It went on too long.
When I watch The Office,
Well, so do most shows.
I'm able to predict every joke.
It's a great pick.
I
you
am.
don't like The Office either.
I don't find myself laughing. Like I like the
overrated.
premise of it.
I can like it.
I liked the original Ricky Gervais version. I watched a little bit of it, but like everybody is so excited about The Office that I watched it. I watched it a few times. Sitcoms in general should go on this, but
they're not for you.
But I would say network sitcoms. But The Office is the one that people, even you, who I am so surprised as an
I love
Office.
Steve Carell, man. I love Steve
Yeah,
Carell.
you
Me
think
too.
Adam
I
is
do too.
snobbier and more pretentious
I know.
than that.
I know. There's some things. I mean, and again, this is what make I don't just follow. You can't just predict where I go. Like this Office is one I like.
Yeah, no, I every time I watch it, I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, got the joke. Yep, very formulaic. Go ahead, Harrison. I'm sure you love The Office.
Okay. I do like The Office.
I like The Office.
I
But it
was
does suck.
I was gonna
It's
take
really
another
good.
drink here, but I've already got a drink on the board. I'm gonna take an entire state
Yes.
with this last pick,
California.
and I'm gonna take Arizona.
Oh man, it's so rated so low though.
What do you, dude? Arizona is rated very high.
Yeah, Arizona's
It's
in, I think.
It's
I
like
think it's just Phoenix.
it's where NBA players love it.
Yeah.
Scottsdale is like the place to go if you want like a guys' weekend or a girls' weekend. But the thing about Arizona is it's obviously way too hot. It's overpriced. It's priced like California. And every restaurant, for some reason, has a DJ playing in it. What is going on? Every restaurant in Scottsdale, you walk in, you're like going to a brunch spot, you sit down, there's a freaking DJ right next to you blasting music.
This is the
Yeah.
fourth,
Like, can we
this
just
is
chill?
The fourth time Wind has mentioned this in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
by the way. He is hung up on the DJ.
Dude, we
element.
all hate Fide. Like, of course,
Yeah, no,
man.
I'm with,
Like,
I'm
this
with
is-
Wind.
yeah.
It's a good pick.
I don't know how. I didn't know it was rated high.
I mean, not these can't just be rated high among us. Like Arizona is rated as a great state nationally,
My last pick.
and I just don't see the appeal.
I think of like a lot of militias and cacti.
Militia.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Go outside.
We've got time,
go-
Eric. Let's go.
Get outside of the DJ zone, and yes,
the DJ zone. It's just malicious. My last one, I could go a lot of different ways, but just to be extra controversial, I guess I'm gonna go new phones. I feel like there was a time, and
Yeah.
it was 2004
Didn't you
to
just get a new phone?
Yes. This is where it's coming
yeah,
from.
that's where it's coming
For
from.
like 2007 to 2015, where every new phone that came out was revolution, like so different. That
Yeah.
was like, I have to get it.
Yes.
Now I have the internet. Now I
Yes.
have phone. Now, like, I got a new phone. You have $1,000. You got to sign up for a 2-year plan just to get it. And it's like, well, what's the new features? And it's
Right.
It's like the button on the bottom is now square.
Right.
You're
Now,
like, what?
the only reason you're getting a new phone now is because your old one's battery dies too quickly or you break it.
Dude, it's a
and-
scam now. There's nothing new about
It's
these
a
new
total
phones.
scam.
The threshold of what is no longer convenient because it's digital, removing the button, that's my line. I need the fucking
Yeah.
button,
You
dude.
really?
Give me
So
the
old.
put the
This is
button
the
on my
oldest
phone.
30-year-old
You want to go back to BlackBerry?
My life.
Well, now I don't know if you guys saw, but Apple has to pay out like $500 million to people because it finally came out. What we all assumed that
charge.
when
Yeah.
a new phone comes out, the software update on your old
One
phone
goes-
actually
yeah,
slows it down,
Slows it down. I'm telling you.
so you can get like $25 from
Planned
Apple if you really want.
obsolescence is the
going
only reason we have
flip
new
phone.
phones. But it used to be that the new phone was always cool. The new iPod was like it did new things, and I'm just telling you they don't anymore. Because I don't think that technology hit a curve and it's
know.
slower. But yet the consumer part of it hasn't changed.
the problem is that they built in the idea that you have to get a new phone every year. They were on that track.
Yeah.
All of the carriers started offering like new phone every year plans, and
Right.
you're right. There's not that many more innovations that we can, like. We've kind of come to like the perfect form,
Right, yeah.
Like
That's my point.
We've gotten rid. Yeah, you're right.
They're gonna start getting smaller
all
again.
of our dads were right just 10 years too early. They were wrong at the time, but now it is like, what do I need a new phone for? I got the flip phone. Now that would be a good take. What do I need the new phone for? I have it.
Yeah,
That's
I
a-
actually have been thinking about trading my phone in for a new one.
Yeah,
though.
you're gonna
I
get it.
actually
It's gonna
have
be
too.
the same phone, and you're
I
like,
know,
oh.
but the battery would be
That's
way
exactly-
better.
That's where it is. The battery life,
Which is just
what-
ridiculous that's why we have to get a new phone.
Battery technology, yes.
This would be like if like new cars came out, but the only difference was the tires don't only fit for the car. You know, they don't update the tires, so you have to get a new car, but it's actually the same car. Yeah. That's like what it is with the phone. It's not actually better. All right, that's our old man rants for today.
Do we ever want to throw out any honorable mentions?
Do we have some? Let's see. I had DJs on my list.
I have Game of Thrones.
Thanksgiving is the Winter Olympics.
How
I
did
think
nobody
overrated.
pick just like a DJ? Yeah,
I had Game of Thrones.
I had that DJs. Yeah,
I had popcorn.
The Winter Olympics are like
Winter Olympics. Yeah,
like the Summer Olympics
sure.
are like the greatest. You know, you're excited.
Yeah.
Then the Winter Olympics, it's like speed skating.
it's cool if you like.
Paul Anton. Oh no.
Yeah, that's 30 years ago.
Did anyone write the
could be cool.
Clippers down, or was that just me?
The Winter Olympics can be very cool if you are interested in hockey, because that's like a very cool
I thought about
international
putting the X
competition.
Games on there.
Online shopping. I put online shopping.
What?
Again, another thing that I thought. Well, you guys
That
are
might be underrated.
No, you guys are all
Greatest
regular
thing I've heard.
sized. Every time I have to order anything online, I order like 3 different sizes of it and then send to.
So you
It's
just mean being misshapen. is
No, but it's
overrated.
online shopping. You guys think about this. If I said this, here's how I know I'm right. A hipster take. If you're like, oh, I just miss going to a record store. Everyone's like, yeah, man. Totally. That, but for everything. There's a novelty to going to a place.
Can you pull up that Joshua comment just above Walter there? Just
I
in
like
the green.
rarely shop for clothes in person.
Never liked DNVR.
You're
Let's get
so
some
right.
feedback. Absolute trash. I've never liked DNVR.
You're
live.
so right.
I thought
You're
about
so right,
drafting
Joshua.
specialty
right.
cocktails.
Let's do this again.
I thought about drafting specialty cocktails.
Fight Club, the movie, also in there. Specialty cocktail. Yeah, you're right, actually. You're right.
You know, it's like every time I'm ordering a specialty cocktail, I'm always concerned, like, is this going to come out and just going to be a pink drink with a flower?
Yo, real talk. Can we share this? We could share this story.
We don't know what story you're talking about.
In Vegas, went out, you know, you go out there,
yeah.
you're mingling or this or that. You go out with some of the basketball guys, order drinks at this place
Yeah.
where you don't know what the hell it is because there's no regular drinks.
Right.
Comes out in the like foo-fooest little.
That's what I'm saying.
Eric ordered.
Yes, this is what
That's
happened.
what I'm saying.
I got a drink that I thought sounded good. It came out. It was a monstrosity.
It was a milkshake.
And the toughest part about this is we were having drinks with like somebody who that was really embarrassing to order it in front of.
No, that's not the most important. It's the most important.
straw
Is,
had a flamingo.
no, the
They're like,
worst
oh,
part is
shit.
that one of the people we were with saw it and got the same drink.
Yeah, but then it was terrible.
Yeah, and then he returned it.
And he,
But I
and
didn't-
then
I didn't
he,
endorse
and then
it.
the funniest part is he left. The drink was so bad that he
It
was,
was a
like,
bad
"I'm
drink.
done."
It was a bad drink.
All right. That does it for us today, guys. Let's all go home.
I love that.